impromptu toast by Steven.
Steven!
To health, to wealth, to stealth. And that's it.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Topical.
Clang, clang, clang,
Welcome to episode 71 of King Leo D&D.
Woo! Have you seen the third Kung Fu Panda?
No.
What's it about?
Yes!
No!
Dance turn.
Wait, we got your Dustforge.
He hasn't seen any of the Kung Fu
No,
Pandas.
these things can be interjected at any point of the intro phase. Kung Fu Panda 3 is obviously about, well, you start with denial.
Who's in it?
That was Kung Fu Panda 1.
Yeah.
Then you move on to anger, which was definitely Kung Fu Panda 2.
Okay.
Yeah. And so in 3, Jack Black as the panda that at this point is developing its white spots. Because he started as Jack Black the panda, all black, and now he's getting some white spots grown in.
Oh, he turns into Jack White from the White
From the
Stripes?
right split.
That's
from the white stripes.
spoilers for Kung Fu Panda 4. So
Got it.
at this point, he is accepting the fact that.
Escape bargaining?
Huh?
And
Yep. Nope. He's on to acceptance. They
Okay.
covered that. There was a 2.5, just like the Lion King, where that one was covered. So, Jack Black, the black developing white spotted panda, who's now developing acceptance, is learning to accept the fact that he accidentally traded bodies with a tiger in a weird Freaky Friday situation, and he's learning to be comfortable in his body as a panda.
Wow.
Flying colors.
Amen.
Thanks. So,
and also
Ultimately.
cute.
And
announcements.
also you.
Announcements are the Patreon interaction for June is about to close, and so if you want to participate in developing some of the magical items that this party may have access to, hop in there. Any support level will do, and thank you also for the 18 patrons that we do have at this point, who have been supporting the show and has helped us do things like updating our microphones, updating our cameras, and helping us support things also like the giveaways that we're going to be doing to celebrate our 2-year, which is coming up on August 27th. And so pay attention to our social media for where you can win some things. And also, if your name is Chris Stevens and you live in Richmond, Virginia, know that I'll be reaching out to you.
Chris Stevens with Stevens Woodworking?
That's the one.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Richmond, Virginia?
Yeah, that's the one.
Thank you for my
Near Midlothian?
anniversary gift from
Yes.
Dan, Chris. Thank you.
Yes.
What is it? What was it?
It's like a honeycomb wood box with 3 little slots in it because I like tiny things.
Because 5 years is wood.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Plus I have.
Do you like bees?
I have. It's bee-like with the honeycomb, and I like tiny things, and it has 3 slots, and I wear 3 rings regularly. So
Cute.
Yeah.
I got Dan an axe.
She did.
Anyway.
Oh,
I
I saw
haven't
it.
done
Which has a
a
wooden
single
shaft.
anniversary gift.
So, that's it for the announcement. We're into episode 71. Who would like to recap episode 70?
Me, I got it.
Go.
I'm ready. All right.
Okay.
We finished the battle. It was time for sleepies because
The
Nemo
missile needed to nap.
was
The missile
missile-
needed nappy nap.
the missile Neeby is sleepy. Good night, Mr. the Missile. That's what we said to you. And you said, "Nee time."
I need to falafel asleep.
He's a sleepy boy. Neeby and Eeby is sleepy.
Oh, God.
Anyway, he needed to sleep, so he slept, and we took turns taking watch. Lilith and Felon started, and nothing super eventful happened during that time. They talked some about anything important.
Family.
Family.
Fast and Furious 10.
Oh yeah, right. Yes, I remember now.
Yeah.
Yeah, she asked about your trauma, and you were like, "Stop it." And then Misery kept watch and saw a bat, and that was all that he saw. And then he rudely woke me up in a really weird way.
So rude.
Hey, wake up.
And then Julie and I kept watch, and that was good. And then Chris and Gwen woke up and they sparred, and Chris is really good at fighting now. He's like really, really good at fighting now. And then everyone was awake, and it was wake time, and we went into the dust glass room where the cult members were, and we looked around and we investigated the heck out of it. Investigated it so much that we found nothing really other than the fact. That's not true. We didn't find anything special about the room other than it was made of dust glass. But Julie looked through the pockets of the dead cult members and found a bunch of blood root blood pouches that do necrotic damage and some spears, and so we took those and we kept them so we can use them in battle. And then Lilith tapped her nails on the wall like she was impatient, and I was like, fine, do you want to go? And she was like, yeah, I want to go if everyone's ready. And we were like, yeah, we're ready. And we went to the city, and then we saw the city, and we were like, wow! And Lilith was like, wow! And we were like, wow! And then Dan sent us a picture of what it looks like. The end.
Yes.
And then Jack Black got all of his white spots and turned into Jack White.
Yes.
How was the picture sent?
It was in the group text.
Is it text message?
Textual.
And also, I'm going to have Steven just put in that image of kind of what the city looks like right there, too.
Oh, also Nemo saw stuff while he was sleeping.
You mean dead?
Oh, right. Yes. Nemo learned about some of the... We learned about some of the stuff that Nemo saw while he was sleeping. He talked to Numero and learned about someone named Ume and
Ronu.
Wow.
Ume and Ronu.
Ronu?
Nume.
Those names work with the numero.
And Dan
Name
said,
scheme.
do those mean anything to you? And Steven said, uh-huh. And then that was all that we knew.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I'm really surprised it didn't send.
Uh-huh. That's my show.
They did send.
Cassandra got it. It's only the Android phone.
get them now.
Android phone?
No. I have an iPhone.
What the heck?
I got them.
I got the androids.
Did you get the photo?
I got 3 of them.
Oh, well, there you go.
I got
Everyone
3
has
of
an
them,
Android
too.
has it. Oh, I don't have them.
Is
I
this
have them. I
Maybe
have
it's
an
just for me.
iPhone.
curious case of Android phones winning?
No,
the group
because I
message
have
war?
it.
She got it. I don't understand.
That's
No,
wild
no,
that she got it, too.
Onward and upward. I saw the pictures. You're fine. Did you see them?
I'm sending them one at a time now, which I think is going to do it.
Oh my god.
I took it.
Getting
I got
ready.
one.
Whoa, look
There you
at
go.
this
Hand
shit.
paint this
Wow, wow.
I used an AI generator to
What?
I think I sent the wrong one. That's fine.
Really?
Those 2 will do it.
That's
Yes, I did.
really
It was
cool.
great. And I really like using AI
It's
as
like
a resource for
Undercity
D&D.
and World of Warcraft.
That's actually a pretty good segue. If you like the idea of using AI to develop your D&D style, go check out my TikTok where I posted like 70 videos of ways that you can do that. King Leo D&D on TikTok as well.
Anyway, I to discreetly and quickly
Steal things.
disappear my enemies.
That's
Thanks,
great.
AI.
I use AI to help me do my job.
I use AI to shout out to Australia. Thanks, AI.
Shout out Australia! Oh, I didn't do it last episode!
That's all right.
We've
forgive.
lost
Oh my
all of our
God.
Australians.
I'm so sorry, Australia. Come back.
As I look out over the cityscape, do I see any what could look like a cave-in, or is that not the kind of detail I could notice from here?
Roll a perception check.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna say to the group, do y'all see any signs of Farlane and Tari? Just as we're all looking out over the city. And I'm also gonna,
Yep.
do I
Yeah.
proceed?
All of you, as you are looking over the city, can roll a perception check.
Rolled a 17.
Okay.
That's not good. Well, I mean,
I rolled an 11.
Everyone for perception checks, just shout them out.
Every single person?
Yeah.
Everyone doing
Oh.
Unless your eyes are closed.
And I'm gonna verbalize. Rini said that she was trapped behind the cave-in, so I'm.
that one got a 13.
What I'm
So,
looking for.
do I always get advantage on perception checks
No,
now?
it
Click
said
the A, it'll tell you when.
That was the third person.
Or,
Yeah, but it is specifically.
I got a 9.
Okay.
Anyway,
What happened on that side of the table?
what?
What just happened to you?
I interrupted
I was like
while he
saying
was
something
talking.
in the middle of the sentence. Felon rolled a 13.
Beautiful.
No, Pilgrim just noted to everyone
doesn't
that
have
he's
any
in
next.
cave-in. That's all.
Yeah.
It was in your features.
Because because that's where Remy said that she was stuck behind.
Dungeon Delver.
Did you say just shout them out?
Yep.
18, please.
Okay.
To detect the presence of secret doors.
Julie?
15.
11.
Three.
Okay. Lith?
What do your elf eyes see?
19.
Laura. I said Lith for
19.
Laura. 19? Right.
Miz?
Gwendolyn and Laura getting the best
Ms. Biz.
kind of overlook of what is going on in the city. You note a couple of things. There is a river that is flowing all the way through this city and touching all of these sections of it as well. Each section holds the rubble of 100 to 200 buildings. So all in all, maybe like an average of like 1,000 buildings within eyesight of these pockets, as they then kind of meander back into the caves behind as well. When Pilgrim, Nemo, makes his note, I will get that straight eventually. When he, or she, makes note of the cave-in, you see dozens of spots where stones have fallen, buildings have crumbled. This whole city, though it has been left behind for one generation, of the age of Drow and Durgar at that, seems weak, collapsing, falling in upon itself. And that one particular detail that Nemo is looking for is everywhere, all at once.
Everything?
No, just that one particular detail.
Okay, Tuli's crouching down, crouching and with
Hiding
her.
the tiger.
Oh man!
The tiger. The dragon's hidden. She's got her elbows resting on her knees as she's crouching, and then she kind of stands up quickly and turns to the rest of the group and she says, "Okay, here's my proposal." She says, if Lilith can direct us to a part of the city that has ideally no water, but maybe some water, here's what I think. We have some objectives here, right? We need to find Remy, and we need to find Pappy's stick.
Pappy's stick.
I think we should, I think that might be hard to do while we're being tracked and hunted by two really powerful people. Here's what I suggest. I suggest we move to the section of the city with the best vantage point, with the least amount of water, and then I send out some kind of signal that Tari will recognize, and we draw them to us.
Like a flare gun situation?
Yeah, I was thinking firebolt, but
something
that she'll
fantasy
know.
flare gun? Like a firebolt.
There's a pattern of firebolts that the House of Jiyasu would do during celebrations. I now remember. And so
in this moment
I remember that.
Exact moment. That's
and so she'll know it's me.
Okay.
Wow.
And we draw them to us.
That plan sounds super sick.
Can she summon her fighters in flowing water? Or does it have to be still?
It can be still, it can be flowing. She escaped in something as big as a bucket of water.
Yep.
So this will give us a chance to scout the area, get rid of any water we can.
Okay.
Investigate a little bit, and maybe have some of us hiding in wait and ready to attack when they get there.
Lilith speaks up then. We will first then have to be able to mobilize throughout the city. Can any of you all make a boat?
No.
A boat?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Just out of nothing?
Is there...
Yes, we live in a land of fantasy and magic. People do things.
In another campaign, I've done that.
Is there a chance that I would have the nature skills to build something like that? I lived in the middle of the woods.
Yeah,
It wasn't really...
you would need trees.
Okay.
And a lot of time, maybe, depending on your approach of it, can maybe make a canoe out of a tree trunk, but...
There are no trees.
That's not helpful.
Right.
Okay. Nope, don't know how to... Sorry, Lilith.
Well, I'm sure we can maybe find one or find other ways navigate over or through the water, maybe, then?
Wait.
So it's gonna... Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go first.
Well, I was just gonna say to Lilith, she's kind of Tuli swings back to the city and gestures out, looking at Lilith very dramatically, and says, Lilith, where should we head to, do you think, for our ambush? And then we'll know how much water we need to cross.
Yeah, looking down in the pathway that would navigate down into what one connected part of the city is, to where you all are at this point. We will be crossing through the East Cove portion of the city, and we can maybe scout out the river there.
Okay.
Can we tell how wide the... Does Lilith want a boat to cross the river or to go down it?
Both. Well, mainly just to go through it, because as you all can see, the city, the large rock walls that exist between each section of the city would be impossible to navigate around.
Okay.
You would have to have some form of boat travel to go from cove to cove.
How wide are the rivers? Can we proceed that way?
First of all, it's kind of not a matter of width. Honestly, I can maybe just show this very crappy drawing that I made.
Because I got a new spell.
Okay. So there's a massive large rock formation in the center of it, and so for y'all to travel and you were on this side, like here, if you got to the river, you're not trying to like cross, you'd be trying to like use the water to get to other parts of the cities.
Okay.
What if we wanted to hop to the part just right below? How much would it be to just jump over that bowl with water? Does that make sense?
Yeah, the actual coves are like hundreds of feet apart.
So I guess we can't shoot an arrow and like shimmy across a rope.
The druids,
Kim Possible song?
were they tree ants? And is that morbid?
Let's make a canoe out of that dead guy.
Did you just ask if they were tree ants?
Trance.
I don't know what you're saying.
Druids can turn into trees.
Oh.
And I remember hearing...
They were like people with tree accents.
Okay.
Accents?
So not, they weren't larger
like
than people.
Yeah, like their
accents.
voices were leafy.
Man,
I was like-
Sally's getting confused today.
It was a morbid thought.
Do dragon bones float?
We had to break through the dust cloud.
Oh my
That's
god.
true.
Alright, guys.
I'm certain that there might be some boat left behind or something that we could scavenge. I just didn't know if there was any
that'd be
more
good.
direct and creative ways that we could jump over the search.
Question for Dan. What's the challenge rating, or I guess like level, of like a whale?
I'm literally Googling that right now. I'm literally looking up if I can turn into something big.
Can you turn into a whale?
Or a giant stingray?
Well, because I
It
didn't
seems
level up my
big.
thing.
Is that even a beast?
It
I
is
can
a
only do
beast.
beasts.
Yeah, I could probably turn into a manatee.
They're not big enough for all of us.
I guess I can do that.
Manatees are pretty small.
Okay, I found it.
Giant octopus.
That exists.
Giant toad.
Each red on a
Alright, a killer whale is a CR3. This is a homebrewed blue whale somebody made, and its challenge rating is 10. That's ridiculous.
That doesn't make any sense.
No.
Challenge rating 1, octopus or toad.
A giant toad?
Ones?
Yep, giant toad and giant octopus.
You could probably manage like one at a time as the toad.
But if you ride on me, you get warts.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's terrible. No, but only if you pee on us, right?
No, if you touch my skin.
That's not how toads work.
We could make a saddle.
It's just if a toad pees on you.
We could make a toad saddle.
Tattle. Okay, so we're not gonna do that.
I'm gonna
I mean,
start
this
moving
is
down
above
towards
board, yeah.
the
Yeah,
river.
I'm gonna
I don't know
looking
how
for
easy it is
boats.
to ride a whale anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, well there's a whole city, like in part of the city between, but yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's all divided up by rivers, I would assume that I'll get to a point where I'm blocked by river.
Yes.
And so I'm just going to be looking around the area.
East Cove part of the whole city is in between you and there. So
Yeah.
you can head down the pathway.
Great.
Oh, so we're already in the East Cove part?
You are above the East Cove part, and the pathway down leads into the East Cove.
So she wants to get to the
We gotta
river
get
to
to
find
water.
another place
Yes.
to hole up.
And all she was asking was, can we
Yeah.
Sorry,
navigate?
Dan, where are we again?
You're by a watchtower that seemingly has no point whatsoever.
Can anyone find a boat? Why are you a toad? Wait, what? Yeah, I'm very cautiously on
Chris
high
is
alert
like,
because I
I
know
have a hammer.
we're being tracked.
Yes.
I'm
Creeping.
hunting for seeing if I do I see a dock? Do I see anything near the river that could have what we see?
Sure. Go ahead and roll a perception check and a stealth check. If you were looking for anything in particular as you start to head into the city, you can tell me that. But generally, just make a stealth check as you all start to enter this part of the city.
All of us?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, neither are good.
Stealth.
I had a 12 for perception.
Okay.
And then I had a 8 for stealth.
Gotcha.
Rather clumsily.
Are you a rogue?
Sorry, are we all rolling stealth and perception or just stealth?
Stealth.
Just stealth.
And then if you have something in particular you'd like to be looking for, you can let me know.
I rolled a 4.
Uh-oh.
I'm in the wide open.
I would also like to perceive.
Just clomping around, rolling down the hill.
I rolled a 23 for stealth.
Okay.
Maybe
Completely
that offsets your
invisible.
4.
Yes.
I rolled a 14.
Okay.
Share with me.
That offsets
I
your
rolled a
8.
21 for stealth and a 11 for perception.
And a what for perception?
11.
What are you looking for as well?
Just if Tari and Farlane.
Okay. So real quick, run through stealth checks for me
I
again.
feel like I should shift. 8.
4.
15.
Okay.
21.
We're good.
I already said 14.
I need to recap. I needed to hear them all again.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. And what was yours was 23. Can somebody roll for Jacques? Somebody else roll for Lilith? And a third person roll for Chris.
I got Jacques.
I'll do it.
I'll do Chris.
I rolled an 8.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's plus.
It'll be over 10, yeah.
Oops, 5.
Whoops, 5.
15.
Okay. As you all navigate loose rock and rubble to get through this barely tracked pathway that is merely you all like at some points jumping from one rock down towards another one that is a couple of your heights downward. It's stressful, it's arduous, and I will add that even just from this alone, it's a lot of exertion. And so, like, it's not a level of exhaustion or anything, but like the physical effort that y'all had to put to navigate downwards from this rock is leaving you all at a point where it's like you're kind of winded, you're kind of tired from your like muscles, and kind of like at a point where a lot more of heavy physical work or anything could possibly lead to exhaustion. You're just like that was a lot of effort to get down. It was also really hard to be quiet to do all of that. And so there were a couple of points where a rock that y'all had jumped on is like split and rolled and hit and hit and hit and hit and then finally landed down into the city, and other parts that like kind of left like smaller like gravelly bits to kind of like roll down, and you can hear it almost sound like rain as it's just like sliding down the hill.
Every boulder destroys a boat somewhere for
So Thelen just like rolled down the entire hill.
Yeah, it was all my fault.
Just kind of like fell down it, going as you wish.
As you were doing that, the buildings, of course, are growing larger and larger as you were getting closer. To be able to make out specific details of like a boat by the river is never something that you get direct eye line to do because of how much of the city you'd have to like navigate and get through to the point where you could actually make one out from looking. You all spend 45 minutes to an hour and a half just walking through, like trying to find pathways through this city. And for the most part, what you see is a bunch of buildings that were like knocked over and destroyed. Some of it by magical means, and you can see specifically Thule like remnants where like magical explosions had happened, and it cast parts of a building to like obliterate and scatter throughout the city. Other parts of it was just like tall 50, 60, 70 foot tower buildings that had like fallen over sideways and just completely wrecked like other areas, and you were climbing over massive piles of rock to get through this as well.
From an academic point of view, do I have any idea what spell it was? I'm curious because I'm always looking for powerful spells.
Sure, go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
27. Actually, I'll do my dice. Oh. 9 plus 7, 16?
Okay, that's not bad.
Well, I thought it was a 6 at first.
Give me one moment. I'll answer that in a second as I'm waiting
It's
to get
not
into
really
some
that
documents. The other thing that you all do notice from that as well is you have seen a lot of skeletons left out and about through all of this as well. Any cloth or soft materials that they would have been wearing are decomposed at this point or taken away or whatever. But you can see that a lot of people died by and through the destruction of this area of the city and were just left untouched. And so, a lot of this is pretty grim, and it feels like a hollow shell of an abandoned city, but also you're surrounded by like the remnants of death in this part. Lilith is just eyeing that over as she is walking through, and makes a couple of comments under her breath. None are really made out, maybe by Felon at that, but it's mostly just like sympathy and expressions of like how it's just like a shame that one, the city has come to an abrupt end, especially for the East Coves, but also that like bodies were just kind of like disrespected and left out and about. She is heading to a mausoleum where her family was like preserved and taken care of, and you all are walking through a city where people were not. Anything in particular from you all as you're navigating through the city and seeing?
How light is it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I didn't get to address that at all. It's very low light, especially in this area. You all would have to be using like a dim light torch or something to be navigating through. There's no formations of lights to be maintained here in this side of the city, and so we're pretty pitch black cave system.
So we don't recognize any sources of light or any brighter area?
No. When you do get some glimpses, especially when you were up on the hill and kind of looking over where you can see partially into some of the other coves, from your vantage point you could see kind of directly across the river into the West Cove, and you could see a couple spots of kind of a reddish light. Even in the North Cove area, where you also kind of had a slight vision into, you could see a couple spots of natural, like, or still maintained light. In this area, it seems everything has been kind of snuffed out.
Can I cast my primeval awareness?
Yes.
To see if there's anything around. Um, 14. Do I add anything to it?
I don't think you roll for it. I think it just happened.
Oh, you're
Could
right.
be wrong.
You're right.
Oh.
It does.
Okay.
I wasted a good roll.
Well, actually, I will make that account for your perception in that too. 14
Okay.
plus.
6.
Okay.
20.
Lilith. Okay, we got that out of our system.
Where are you?
You sense another presence, and you don't get direction. We've talked about that as well. But there's another singular presence. And how big is the radius for that too?
1 mile.
Oh gosh, never mind. Okay. There.
Or within up to 6 miles if you are in your favorite
Right,
terrain.
you're not in like the woods.
I'm not.
Okay, so you sense a singular presence that does feel like kind of stronger and closer. You also get what feel almost like
The singular presence is stronger and closer as Lilith? Or you mean other than
beyond
Lilith?
that. I do mean beyond that.
Oh, okay, great.
And there you also get
I want to make sure.
the best word I can think of it that Lorelith would associate it with. Swarms, like pockets, collections. That also you get like general like, oh, there are some collections of groupings of these types of figures.
But I don't know
Right.
if they're aberrations,
Yeah.
celestials, dragons,
Right.
elementals.
The best way for you to kind of interpret that too is like this whole list is like not some like kind of otherworldly, like supernatural maybe is another way to look at it. Things that are beyond the scope of like normal, typical, like, humanoid existence. And then you are getting this sense of, like, all right, we're kind of, like, out of that element. There's
Okay.
a lot of other stuffness going on.
So
here
there's
still.
one thing that's closer than everything else,
Mm-hmm.
and then there are swarms of
Collections
other
and
things.
pockets of others, yeah.
Can I tell if those other things are like made up of more than one kind of thing, or is it like
All of them are giving the same vibe.
okay?
Yeah.
It's giving.
It's giving Fae. It's giving undead. It's giving dragons. It's giving. Okay.
Millennials trying to be Gen Z.
So we rolled a 15, 16.
For
What was
perception?
your Arcana check earlier?
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I was thinking and processing that and looking.
16?
Yeah, okay.
It
So
was
higher
a
than
9 plus...
9 plus 6.
No,
9 plus 6.
7.
9 plus 7.
15.
Perfect, okay. It was higher than a 15, and so I will tell you the type of spell it was. First, it was a 9th level spell. It was a big boy. And-
9.
Yeah, and the particular one was Meteor Swarm.
Oh.
And so this is one that conjures a bunch of massive meteors to kind of just smash down on a particular area.
Like the D&D movie.
Was there a meteor swarm in it?
Mm-hmm. At the end, she casts Meteor Storm when she first came to fight them.
Nice.
Pavilion.
Yeah.
Like that.
Man.
Okay.
At least you guys time stop.
So I have told everyone, hey guys, there's something that is primeval that is pretty close to us. And then there are groups of other things that are also primeval, that are not quite as close to us, but still within a mile away. So just like, you know, be careful. Tari and Farlane might not be the only things we need to be worried about when sending up our...
Yeah, perhaps we should reevaluate that. Let's get to maybe a point first and then evaluate.
Lilith speaks up. There were those that decided not to come to the surface and reject the new world that we were trying to build for ourselves.
Great, you're telling us that now?
I've spoken of them before. These are the Damphir.
Oh.
Those who have given into the call of being a vampire as we are.
Okay.
And have rejected any form of order and peace from that.
Question.
Yeah.
Was, this is not for Lilith.
Okay.
Was the as you say, the vibe that I was getting
Mhm.
from all of them was the same?
Mm-hmm.
Was it the same vibe that I get from Lilith?
Mm-hmm. All that was kind of the same.
Oh.
Just
Even for the one singular thing that was closer to?
Mhm.
Cool. Continue.
Yeah. That was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you for pointing that out.
Yes.
That's definitely what I'm picking up on.
Mhm.
And that being said, that means that there's probably a Damphir closer to us right now. That's not you.
Okay.
You're not a Damphir,
Yeah.
but you get it.
What are you?
Oh my god.
Civilized.
Misery. Just ask people what they are.
Michael has a question.
Yeah.
Mike,
Can you concentrate on something and move at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know concentration,
you
but
can
you
fight
were
it
just like.
You just go.
You just can't get like hit. You can't.
Thelen is going to tell everyone to come close and cast Pass Without a Trace.
That's good.
Whoa! See, I told you you didn't need it.
Sick.
Which means for the next hour,
Man, you could have done that before.
for the duration, each creature you choose within 30 feet has plus 10 bonus to dexterity checks and can't be tracked except by magical means. And we don't leave any traces behind us.
Like the giant dust cloud from the stones that fell. When you...
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, the trail ends here.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Maybe that's better.
So I cast
Scratch
that.
my head.
On how many?
Anyone
You get
within
six?
30 feet. So I just tell everybody, huddle up.
Right.
Group hug.
Rad.
Are you gonna touch me with your mushrooms?
Whoa!
Chris.
No, but watch this. I don't know if anything visually happens.
Watch this, and then you move so stealthily that it doesn't even look like you did anything.
If you're doing something, there's no trace of it.
And then Chris is like, what? What happened? What?
Exactly.
Now you're getting it, Chris.
I don't think I am. I don't get it.
Then you're getting it.
Explain it to me.
We'll be hidden for the next hour, except by intentional magical means.
In the background, Tully's kicking at the dust to see what happens.
What happens to the dust? Does it
Not
just
gonna take
immediately dissipate? What happens?
Yeah, what happens?
There's just no tracks.
Yeah. After you kick up some dust and you can see your footprint, little green spores hit the ground and then like cover it over, and then the dust just kind of reforms and the footsteps go.
Tully
away.
goes, whoa!
Oh.
So sick.
I like that.
I get it now. Cool. Where are we heading?
We've got an hour, so I imagine we should head down and maybe try and find a boat, or
I'm still headed towards the river.
Yeah.
or follow Nemo. Nemo, wait up!
Nemo loves the water.
Nemo swimming out to sea.
He's gonna touch the butt.
I'm gonna try.
All right, go ahead and make a perception check. And Lilith is
You gotta
gonna
find a
go
boat.
Can I look
Wait,
for?
we're in
Can I?
need of
I want
23.
to also look for a boat,
Whoa.
You can go ahead.
like a boat store.
I do not look for boats.
Does that count as dungeon delving?
A boat store. Do they have like a
Is it a
marina?
It's
secret
not a
door?
trap or a...
Man.
Just
Yeah,
everything-
Where's the dock master?
I heard they have a yacht club that like trains.
Are we all
20.
rolling these?
No, just you and her.
Nat.
So,
20,
23 and a 20.
26 is my total number.
Wow.
yeah,
Whoa.
it's great.
I found a boat so much better than you.
You
If
did not.
there's a boat to be found.
You did not find a boat, and you did not find a boat. Because you both picked up on, as you get to the point where the river becomes clear and you're kind of more towards like the coast end part of it, you can see a figure kind of kneeling down. And it's like, with very high rolls, has a shovel and is digging a hole. Kind of far away, you can't really get much more detail from where you're at as you see it. You rolled really high to get a good distance from it, but you can see a figure digging a hole over kind of towards the water. Not like not too close to the water. But
Is it scary?
I mean, it's probably a
that's
damn
subjective.
fear.
Oh. Would you be scared by it?
Yeah.
Okay.
As
You'd
a
be
human being
damn-
with zero skills or abilities to handle
Steven,
myself.
You would be damn afeared of that.
Hey,
Nice,
we're gonna
that's
pick up
good.
racquetball again. It's all right.
Okay. Does it seem humanoid? Basically.
Do you want to move closer?
I just told you what it is.
Remember,
Did you?
we're
Do you,
hidden.
am I getting the same vibe that I was getting before?
Is it dancer?
Still, you don't get like a direction or location. Like
It doesn't get stronger the closer I get to it? Oh. Then okay.
It was probably
Can you
based
do
off
that
of
shot from
size
Skyrim
or-
where you detect aura and then we can know?
No. But can I see from where I am if it looks familiar to the ones that like cornered me in the alley back in the
If you and Pilgrim Nemo got closer,
Okay.
you could get more detail.
Great.
Let's get closer
Let's
without
get
leaving a
closer.
trace.
They can't see us anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Pass without
we just have a better roll.
Are y'all like telling the party anything before you do this?
Oh, yeah. Hey guys, there's a thing up there.
I'm just
It
gonna
might be a damn great. Do that. They don't like to listen to that, but sure.
I'll turn
Yeah,
around and I'll do
exactly.
this with my finger. And then I'm gonna do this.
For those listening on the podcasts, Steven is waving his hand around aimlessly.
I'm doing
He's doing
very
the military
good.
thing.
Like we're a Navy
Like a
SEAL team.
Yeah.
SEAL Team 2.
Swap
Seal-
moves.
Still Dream half.
SEAL Team half.
Still Team 6. Wait.
Yeah.
That's the. We're not that.
SEAL Team half. CT.
That's the good one.
Okay,
S,
let's
S?
go. Let's
Alright.
go.
S?
Yes.
STH?
SEAL Team? S?
Shut the hell.
So anyway, I started blasting.
Whoa.
Yeah. So we head on in.
Great.
We hit the crouch button and we head on in.
Yeah, go ahead, both of you roll a stealth check. Add 10 to it.
Plus 10.
There's
would
a skull
love to.
floating over the head of the figure.
Plus 10.
Go through the tall
and your
grass.
other modifier.
Yeah, where they somehow won't see you.
Okay.
23 plus.
I rolled 31.
Whoa!
13 plus 10.
Plus 10, yeah.
Is 23.
How?
Plus your
plus
other
10.
thing.
Plus my other thing.
Oh,
Oh,
let's
19
get plus
plus
10.
2 plus
To
10.
everything?
To dexterity and stuff.
25.
Oh, wow.
25. Okay, so you all, as you get this weird hand
What did you roll?
31.
Oh,
With
nice.
the marks.
you see Nemo, got at that time, and Lorelith step in through some of the rubble, slipping through some of the buildings to get off closer, and pretty quickly as they take steps off, you can barely make them out from the dark light. The dark.
We're so stealthy.
They have like
shadows.
those elvish cloaks from Lord of the Rings.
Whoa.
We're rocks.
I am Elvish.
That's true.
Both of you go ahead and make a perception check for me as well.
Can't help you with that one.
Oh,
16.
12.
Okay. You see a Duragar, shorter, stout figure with a cloak on over there, and you recognize him as Zanghan.
Whoa!
What?
And so,
Wow.
Zanghan's the blind boy, right?
No.
no,
That's
The
Dura-
East
yeah.
Cove Patriarch
Daragar.
is neutral, supposedly.
Duragris the Daragar.
Duragirth.
Daragar.
Zanghan East
East
Cove.
Cove.
Is it Zanghan or is it Linguini Zanghan? Because people have doubles. So.
Zanghan's the one we went to his house after.
Yeah.
And you can see also that he has collected some bones and remains and is putting them into this hole and then covering it over.
He's storing them for winter.
No, he's in East Cove, so this might be his family.
Why would he store his family for winter?
Thank you.
So stupid.
Oh man.
How Zanghan is it?
Oh my god.
Do I need to explain what I actually meant, or do you understand?
No, we're good. Such a good question.
Oh my god.
All right. Am I close enough? What am I talking about?
What season is it?
Oh my god.
I'm going to sleep to Laura.
Okay, yeah.
That's Zanghan. He seems to be burying some of these bones.
Well, this was where his family was, so maybe he comes back here periodically to give them some sort of honor.
Rebury.
To bury the boy.
Digs them up and buries them.
No, none of them got
Bury the
buried.
boy.
Dan just told us that we walked through the town and everything looked destroyed and not properly buried.
I'm gonna. I don't want to quite be behind. I do want to be behind him, but not like a directly behind. Like I'm kind of like coming almost beside him.
Yeah.
He like walks
As
up
non-threatening ways possible. Open hands, and I'm not gonna mindly because that can freak people out. I'm just gonna very calmly say, "It's good to see you again, Zanghan."
There's a little bit of a start when he looks over, but he finishes off one of the shovels and stops. Pilgrim, good to see you as well. Glad to see you've made it safely down to the city.
Yes, our party has, barring a few minor hiccups and a brief vacation of the mortal coil, we have found ourselves down here searching, continuing the quest that we first started as we entered these caverns. We did not expect to see you here, but I must say, given the setting, it does make sense.
You were just getting to the city now.
Yes, we had a brush with some evil tree spawn and cultists and death and a spider and no sense of direction and a very long rest, an episode-long rest. And now we find ourselves here, searching for a boat.
I see. It makes sense. I was wondering how I had gotten here before you, but
we wish we had what you have.
Well, traveling alone makes it a bit easier to be undetected.
Ah.
No. I'm there. No.
I kind of step forward out of the shadows.
He just gives a nod.
Hey, Gigi.
His nod is very somber.
Easy top.
I want to address and say I was not trying to be deceptive, and I had not made up my mind about coming down here, but after you all had left, it still sat with me that I did have a desire to eventually see what this place would be, and I am sad to see it in such disrepair. If I could ask you this, yes, I will just be direct. Move on from this part of the city. Let me take care of what I need to take care of. I do not wish to see this be moved around or dug through by those who are not East Coast family members.
We respect that, but we do, I at least, have a request, which is we were just hoping to move through this part of the city and cross the river, but we don't have a means to cross the river. Do you know if there's a boat or anything readily nearby and you're moving through things? Because as you mentioned, I want to respect that. I don't want to dig through things that you don't want us digging through. So if you happen to know one, so that way we don't have to do that, that would be really helpful.
Yeah, there may be 20 minutes up the river. I saw a collection of 4 or 5 boats. If you would take 4 of them and leave one behind, that would be fine. But should I wish to move on or explore, I would like to use one.
Happily. We must warn you, though, we did, before arriving at the city, notice that we were being pursued by some rather displeased South Coves. And I'm not sure if they bear you any ill will, but they are down here with us, and they certainly bear us ill will. So if you do encounter them, which I hope you are spared of that, we ask that you might point them in a direction, not ours.
Both sisters?
Just Farlane and Tari, the one who was hired to assassinate Lilith, that we were then hired to assassinate Farlane.
Right, so one South Cove then.
One South Cove
and a South Cove and a Bard.
Okay. I will not meddle in those affairs. You are covered there.
Understood. Thank you.
I do have one final question for you. Well, two final questions. One is, we're aware that there are Danfear down here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any suggestions on how to protect ourselves from and to remain safe while they're about?
There's no reasoning with them. You either hide or clear them out.
Okay.
I have been rather successful at hiding, though, like I said, I would understand that to be more difficult for you all traveling as a group of what I hope to be 9. Are Jacques, Lilith, and Chris okay?
Yes.
They are.
Chris has turned into quite the fighter while we were down here, actually. It's very interesting to see.
A little smile cracks on his face. Really.
Mm-hmm.
He's really found himself down here. We're all a little surprised.
It's like a
He's really enjoying it too.
It's like a strength went up by 1.
My final question is, in order to respect you, our party knows that we saw a figure up here and that we were coming up to investigate, though they don't know it's you. Would you like us to keep it that way, or?
My presence here is not private.
Okay.
You're fine.
I just wanted to check. Want to be respectful.
Thank you.
But also, we will go back and continue to move on our way and not bother you during the time that you were taking to to properly honor your family.
Before you move on, I actually wish to speak with Lilith and Jock. You may linger here for a bit, perhaps gather the boats and bring them down the river. Take Chris with you, but I should discuss things with them and handle some Dustforge business.
Okay.
You pick up, even when he's saying that, I'm doing not the great job of portraying his gritted teeth and almost anger or bitterness that comes out when he starts to say that, and he's peering off kind of in the direction that you came, and his eyes just kind of linger there, and there's a little kind of like a smoldering of anger behind them that you haven't really seen from him before. Even his gritted teeth, though, do kind of stick out to you because, as a reminder from the first time you met him, his canines have been removed, and so he does have like a neutered smile is the best way to describe it.
Oh, his mouthpiece is gone.
No, not his mouth penis, his mouth balls.
The uvula.
Thank you.
No, his canine.
So you all can take care of business and respond and do stuff with the party for that matter.
Great. You don't want to have a conversation with yourself 3 different ways?
I will, but none of you will be there to hear it.
Great. Yeah, we return, quietly relay everything, encourage Jock and Lilith to join him at the over there, and then we head off in the direction he said the boats were.
Chris, stay with us.
Yeah.
You're one of us now.
If they reveal themselves, it doesn't remove the pass without a trace, does it?
Correct. No. Do you mind doing that in character? I just feel like.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. For the other characters.
So we saw a figure further down. Turns out it was Zanghan, Eastcoast. He is burying some of the bones of his ancestors, it seems, and he wishes to be alone. However, he wishes to be alone after speaking with Jock and Lilith privately. He has also pointed us in the direction of some boats. 20-minute walk that way. I point in the way he said. And he has assured us that he will leave Tari and Farlane off our scent if they do cross paths.
Well, he said he won't meddle in those affairs, which...
He will be ambivalent if he encounters Farlane or Tari.
I was like, he's definitely not going to help them, but I don't know
He's going to kill them for us.
No.
Oh, go ahead. No.
Look, he came down here by himself?
Yeah.
And so is he going to go back by himself?
I believe that's his plan. He wants to talk to Lilith and Jock and then get back to the business of
We just leave him alone?
Tending to his ancestors. He's made it this far and he's requested to be left alone, so.
I thought this was a whole dangerous, journey, but...
We were surprised as well that he was surprised to find that he made it down here before us, but mentioned how it's much easier to hide and navigate the caverns when you're alone versus with 8 other people.
Can he go get the stick?
Something tells me that is...
I'm going to get that.
Yeah. In the same way that he wants to bury his ancestors, I think Lilith wants to get the stick. Yeah.
So you could have just come by yourself, apparently.
No.
I'm not as bold, or I guess as quiet as him.
She's really loud, can't you tell?
Dust cloud still has not settled.
Julie says, are you guys 100% sure he's telling the truth? Or it's even him?
Well, not anymore!
Neither of those crossed our mind.
Yeah.
I will give you my best assessment by the time our conversation is over. Did he mention what it would be about?
He said Dustforge.
He did not. In anything...
No, he did. He said, I need to talk to them about Dustforge.
Dustforge business.
Business.
All of the things he said seemed like weird things to lie about, I will say.
Yeah.
Well, that's
He seemed
exactly what
he
a
seemed rather...
booze monster would want you to think.
Right. Sure.
I'm not spaghetti,
Yeah,
you're spaghetti.
normal? That's exactly what a weird thing would do.
Spaghetti monster says what? What? Oh!
I knew it! I He also, I will add, he also definitely did not see us before we saw him and was a little startled when Nemo approached him. So I would assume that there is no reason for him to be lying. And if he's lying, he's doing a phenomenal job of it.
But he wants us to leave Lilith and Jock alone with him?
Yeah, to talk about, in the same way that when we tried to tell him about the whole South Cove assassination thing, and he wouldn't really say much, I think
What
it's
if
the same.
What if I stay, like, way out of earshot, but just close enough that I can see? So if something goes weird,
Kind of like that.
I'll be able to rush in and help.
Yeah, like if he asked us to call him Zinguini now.
Yeah.
Because we're bringing the boats back anyway,
Zinguini.
so.
Yeah.
Pasta.
I mean, maybe
Bacon
not
Zanghan.
by yourself, so that
Sure.
way someone can, like, check if, you know, a Danfear's trying to sneak up on you
You'll
or
watch
something.
them.
Sure.
Someone will watch you. Someone will watch that person.
Someone watch that.
We'll create a little daisy chain all the way to the boats.
I just mean at this point, I don't
Someone's gotta watch
think we
him dig
should
a
be
hole,
in the
right?
position of going by ourselves anywhere.
Fair.
So,
Look, I appreciate the sentiment, Lilith here, but I think I could fare my own if this were not above board.
it's not like she's alone.
While protecting Jock?
Sure.
That's your call.
Jacques does not look like confirmed or encouraged to shoot him. Sure. He's like.
Okay, your call, girl.
I can protect Jack. Jacques.
I can protect Jake.
From State Farm, was it?
Okay.
But I would ask that you respect his wish and our business.
Okay.
To the boats.
Okay.
To the alleged boats.
I'm walking backwards and staring.
Yeah.
As I...
So, with that conversation happening, does anyone want to do any kind of lingering, overhearing, specifically Rachel, because you brought that up? Like, do you want to put some effort into doing that anyway, or are you respecting that? Where are you at?
If you don't do it, I'm going to do it.
My character probably would not do that because I'm pure pressurable. But I'm also very uncharismatic.
Very uncharismatic. I want to. I even want to listen. That's the thing.
Uh-huh.
You can hide behind a rock.
I want to listen so bad.
You got a little magic buff? You got a little mushroom stealth? A little spore action?
Just duck down so your horns
Well,
don't
not
hit.
if I'm too far away from him.
I think it's just when I cast it, right?
That's a good question.
No, it's
I
Is
think
it a spear
you have
or
to
a
maintain being
Yeah.
within 30 feet of you.
Oh yeah, for the duration.
Yeah.
but
So I would
You could use it-
probably follow the squad. To
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But Misery, you could
Well, for
probably.
the duration doesn't mean proximity. That just means
For the duration, each creature you choose within 30 feet of you.
that's like the duration of the spell. That doesn't mean proximity, right?
I think it does overlap. It's like a continuous application of it as long as you.
Just because I have to
I remember it
concentrate
being
on it.
the whole time.
Yeah.
Either way, I have invisibility to cast.
That's true too.
This is new
True.
for me.
So that, and you could get into a good hiding place while you're within 30 feet of him.
Yeah.
And so like all of that, you still got some stuff working
And
there.
then I'm gonna use invisibility. This
Okay.
is my free one for the day.
How long does that last?
The day.
Up to an hour.
Oh, get out.
The
Okay.
creature you touch. Can I touch myself? Becomes invisible until the spell ends.
Why did you say that?
Anything the target is wearing or carrying is invisible. Cool. See, I'm invisible. Cool.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check with advantage. I'll let you also add the 10 to it.
Plus
You're
10.
gonna
Just
be-
for hiding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 15. So 25 plus something.
Because it would say any creature within a sphere of like 30 feet.
29.
Right?
Okay. Concentration for an hour. For the duration, each creature you choose. Yeah, from a reading of it right now, the instantaneous moment that you do it within the 30 feet lasts for the duration, as long as you are concentrating on it. So he doesn't have to maintain being within 30 feet of you. It sticks to him. Thank you. I agree with your
So
assessment.
don't cast invisibility.
No, it still
No,
helps and it's
both.
good. And
You slip into the
that's been
void.
said and done. I'm fine with sticking with that. So you cast invisibility. Roll a perception check as well.
Maybe because I'm looking back, I see Misery do this, but I don't say anything.
Sure.
9.
Okay. Well, so as you get into a good hiding place, we still have Joffrey. That's the last roll of the night.
Honestly.
Do it.
Yeah, Boulder.
2 weeks
Boulder.
in a row for Joey.
Thank you, North Foundry.
Hurl it on his secret.
I don't want to roll this on the
Yeah,
table.
don't do that.
16.
Whoa.
Plus 5 is 21. Plus 2 is 23.
Okay. I will update you in the interim, but this conversation is going to continue into the next episode of Kingly D&D. As the rest of the group finds up and gathers some boats, Misery lingers behind to listen to Dustforge business.
Dustforge business.
Yum. Oh.
Misery Burness business.
Misery burner?
Burness business.
Listen to business.
This is a misery that felt like a clock.
Yeah, comes it ends there.